name is Heather Shaw, and I teach first grade at Tawnytown Elementary School. In first grade, we work on adding and subtracting two-digit numbers. A strategy that we use is called decomposing numbers. What that means is you're breaking the numbers into smaller pieces in order to add or subtract, and then you put them back together to find your answer. So let's try one with addition. So thinking about 55 plus 32, you are going to break it down based on its place value. So if I think about the number 55 and I look here, this is the tens place. The tens place is worth 50, and then the ones place is worth 5. So 50 plus 5 equals 55. So that's where I'm getting those numbers from. This is called expanded form. You're taking it and stretching it out and listening for the value of each digit. So over here we have 32. So you have 3 tens. 3 tens is 30. And then you have 2 ones. So now we have broken our numbers into more workable numbers that they can actually even add and subtract mentally in their head. In this case, addition. So what we're going to do first is we're going to make sure that we add our tens and our tens together, and our ones together. So if I look at this, I can start with my tens and say, okay, well, this is a little tidbit, I'll give it to you. A lot of my first grade students think about their basic math facts when they're solving problems like this. They will say, well, I know that 5 plus 3 equals 8. They get that from here. Well, if I know 5 plus 3 is 8, if I'm thinking about these as being tens, 50 plus 30 equals 80. So that their basic facts help them solve these more complex problems that with higher numbers. So now we added our tens together, so now we have to add our ones. So 5 plus 2 equals 7. I always tell my students, well, where's my answer? And they say, well, now you have to put the parts back together. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be adding those two numbers together to get your final answer. So 80 plus 7 equals 87. So your answer, your sum, is 87. So that's one problem with addition. Let's try another one just for practice. So now we're going to do 62 plus 14. So we're going to decompose the numbers just like we did over here. So 62, so we have 6 tens, which is 60, and 2 ones. So 60 plus 2 is 62. Let's decompose this one. 110, this is a tricky one for some of them because they don't think of, it's hard for them to realize 110 is just 10. So 10 plus 4 equals 14. So now you have broken your numbers down into smaller, more workable numbers that you can add together easily. So we're going to add our tens and our tens together, and our ones together. So if I add my tens, 60 plus 10 equals 70. Okay, and again, you can think about, if they thought about it before like we did, 6 plus 1 equals 7, so 60 plus 10 is 70. 2 plus 4 equals 6. And then again, these are our two parts that we have to add together to get our sum. So 70 plus 6 is 76. So our answer, or our sum, is 76. So that's decomposing with addition. We can also decompose numbers with subtraction. And again, you start with the same step that you did before, where you break the numbers into its place value. So you have 40 plus 8 and 20 plus 2. Now this one's a little different because now we're working with subtraction. So I'm going to say, okay, now I have to subtract my tens and my tens and my ones and my ones. So 40 minus 20 equals 20. And again, if you wanted to think about like we did over here, thinking about those basic facts, 4 minus 2 equals 2. So 40 minus 20 equals 20. So that's where they're getting those numbers if they're doing it mentally in their head. So then we have 8 minus 2 equals 6. Here comes the tricky part. Over here, we added the numbers together because we were doing addition. We're still going to add the numbers together because I have a part, and now I have to put them back together. So 20 plus 6 equals 26. I know you're probably thinking, That's crazy. I'm subtracting. I should be subtracting. But since you have two parts, you have your 10s and your 1s, you have to add them back together to get your whole number. So your answer is 26. All right, so that's how we would decompose and subtract when we're trying to figure out our answer. Let's try one more. So over here we have 39 minus 17. So again, I'm going to decompose the numbers into its place value. 30 plus 9, and this one would be 10 plus 7. Okay, so 30 plus 9 is 39, 10 plus 7 is 17. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract my 10s. So if I'm sticking with the base 10, or thinking about your basic facts, 3 minus 1 equals 2. So 30 minus 10 equals 20, because we're now working with 10s. Then I'm going to subtract my 1s. So 9 minus 7 equals 2. So now I have 10s and 1s, and I have to put them back together to get the whole answer. So 20 plus 2 is 22. So my difference for this problem, 39 minus 17, is 22. So as you can see, this is decomposing numbers and being able to add and subtract based on their place value. This is a strategy that we use in class, and it's very helpful for them because they can start doing some of this stuff mentally. They're going to blow your mind. So hopefully this will help you at home, and your child can show you how they decompose numbers.